Obviously this pasture out here in front of us has been cleared off. As they say, you'll never eradicate mesquite anymore. The seed bank is just there. You can see these are all young plants that have come back from seed after they cleared off this pasture, probably with mechanical methods. As we were talking, you know, this pasture was very likely, just looking at it, I would guess it was mechanically controlled with a root grubbing or something like that, root plowing, where the mesquite would be extracted from the ground by the roots and piled up and burned, but a lot of times that's not practical. The pasture over here to our right, you'll notice, has some very big mesquite on it, and it looks like wintertime over there. That's because that mesquite has been treated chemically, which is another viable method for mesquite control. As we said, it would be nice if sheep and goats were a little more aggressive at eating mesquite, but you know, they just seem to prefer other species. Like we said, you know, at least we have the affinity for juniper, which is a good thing. And then we were talking about problem plants that might sometimes get in the wool, like Texas wintergrass, the spears and the awns on the end of that seed head. Cactus would be another one that we sure have to contend with, don't we, Reid?
Yeah, yeah. Cactus is another problem species on the landscape, often looked at because it's taking up ground that we'd prefer to be in producing grass or forbs of some type. But sheep and goats will browse upon cactus, especially when it starts producing the fruit, the little purple heads that come on. They'll eat those, especially when pasture conditions get worse and there's less green availability out there, and some will get on it and appear to be addicted to it, where they just keep eating it even whenever there's other things around, and it'll cause some abscesses and infections in and around their mouth. And so we'd love it if they could control it, but unfortunately they eat just enough to maybe spread a little bit of seed out there. And so fire was probably on the landscape to keep some of that cactus in check, you know, 100 years ago too.
I guess we're going to be going to a wool scouring plant. That's probably another reason we have wool scouring plants, correct? We get vegetative matter in that wool, and when we get to the plant, we'll talk about how we're going to clean that wool up. But as we said, there's stuff out here that can contaminate wool, and it has to be dealt with. So.